It's $1. Just here you go. Just pop that up. It's $1. There we go.
That wasn't the magic word, though.
It's $1.
Yeah, I know.
So you changed it up.
The director was quick on the trigger there.
He was. He did a good job.
Well, that's because he did it. Now, if it would have been voice activated by itself, nobody would have clicked it if you said the word buck.
$1. They wouldn't have clicked it $1. It would have come up if it's, it would have been fine. Yeah. You're right.
It's like the smart devices in the house.
Warchant.com on 3, $1 for 1 year. Calling all Florida State fans. There you go. Hey, I know it's not great shakes. I know it's not something that you gather the family and friends around the old TV for tonight, but they're playing football. It's happening. It's today. Football will be played, and there will be officials. There will be a clock. Men will be in pads tackling one another. Maybe not with the same fervor that you're accustomed to or get excited about, but it's going to happen.
Hello, my friend, hello.
You can't take these things for granted. The long, interminable, at times, off-season is no longer there. It is no longer present. It is not an off-season. We have started. Now, again, they don't count the victory per se between Jacksonville and Las Vegas tonight, but it's going to be played. And I do this every year. I hype up the Hall of Fame game because I'm just excited that football's back with us. It's in our house. It's the sounds of football. And then I watch 30 seconds go, this sucks. I get up and walk out. But it's still fun for me to note that football is on your TV if you need it. If you need it tonight. Some people need it more than others early in the process. Some people are hanging on for dear life, Tom. They're on the edge. They're barely able to function in their daily lives because football has been absent for so long. And they just see this Hall of Fame game and they go, look at that uniform. Look at that Raiders uniform. It's an awesome uniform. It's true. It is an awesome uniform.
It's also worth reminding everybody, now that we're on the precipice of football season, when you see those national television preseason broadcasts, you're going to see different faces in different places. Remember, Buck and Aikman are now Monday Night Football.
Good old Buck and Aikman.
They're Monday Night Football now. And Mike Tirico is now Sunday Night Football because Al Michaels is primetime Thursday with Kirk Herbstreit, I believe.
Is that right?
Yeah. Herbstreit is now calling Thursday Night Football games on Prime.
I have no idea. I haven't done the roster.
Oh, the shuffle is on.
I have not done it. I haven't cared that much. I've been so into us going to practices and watching camp and thinking. I haven't done my prep work for the. I got a text today that I was on the clock. So what happens is they take in my draft where we, several mutual friends that are in the Mediocre Golf Association. They take, when you get selected, basically they just shake it all up and you find out when you get to pick where you want to draft.
Yeah, you're selecting your order.
Yeah. So I ended up at 6 in a 12-team draft, which is fine.
Man, I was in 5th position and I opted for 12 over 5. That's what I did. I decided for the wraparound.
I opted for
wraparound. It could be a hockey play.
Just saying. I opted for I opted for 6 because I like that balance of the consistency of pick with each round. And once I was outside the top 4, I was like, I was torn on that. I called Director Matthew. I know he has very specific strategies. And I said, listen, man, I've not been in this position but I'm kind of either leaning 5 or 6 or 12. I don't want 7, 8, and 9. I want 5 or 6 or 12. He's like, I really think you should consider 6. So then I sat down, I looked at it, and I took 6.
Did some research on your.
Yeah, I feel good about 6.
Couple of TPS reports later, and 6 it was.
6 it is. So that's where I'll be drafting 6, no doubt, championship position.
It's good news
for this year. Yeah. And that's where it's at. But that is also part of the proof positive we're in football season. People, not just me and my buddies, but you and your buddies and people all over this country today are getting notices. Hey, drafts next week. Hey, here's when we're going to go do. It's going on.
Oh, we're consumers just like we are media members. For example, camp reports from Buccaneers, $1 place. I consume that. While on the other side, the other tab on my browser, I'm putting together content for Nole fans. like ourselves.
All right, so we were both at practice today, and they got back after a day off, and I thought it was a disjointed practice. I won't get too detailed. I thought it wasn't as good as some of the other practices we've bore witness to so far. That's going to happen. It's a long camp. It's hot as Hades. Sometimes guys need a break. Some guys have off days. It's going to happen. I thought today fell under that umbrella. I just felt like it was a little disjointed. I don't know if the day off kind of messed up the timing in some ways. They also had a couple of guys, knock on wood. Mike mentioned this after the practice, so I can talk about it.
Yeah, the comments already have a couple of questions about it.
Yeah, so he mentioned it. And again, I don't know. We're not going to get the medical from them today. But a lot of the guys who needed to step away and maybe kind of shut it down a little early today on the offensive line, they weren't stretchered off, everybody. It wasn't like that. They weren't guys just hobbling all over the place, incapacitated, couldn't play. There was nothing that in my mind, and again, I don't know. There's nothing official. But I didn't see anything in my mind that looked like we should have much to worry about.
I would agree.
And I don't think Mike sounded real worried. He just kind of
right.
He was careful. He chose his words carefully. You could tell he was frustrated. I thought, to me, today, he got some good and some bad, like he said. But I think he was probably frustrated because, they had some snapping issues. And so, that when that's the case, it disrupts the apple cart. It makes it tough to get into any sort of a rhythm.
Yeah, like I was the one who put out the tweet from Norvell's post-practice presser in which he said, we had a couple guys go down the O-line. And that reads one way, like it does. Quote, we had a couple of guys go down the O-line and then ellipses, but I don't think it's anything serious.
Yeah.
If you could hear the tone of that, what I tell you is, well, I don't think it's anything serious. It wasn't, I don't think it's anything serious. We had a couple guys go down.
Right.
He was just like, he was inconvenienced. He wasn't concerned.
I listen, whenever I watch these practices, I spend a lot of time not just analyzing and looking at certain players to see how they're progressing, certain segment groups to see where I think they're at. But I watch Mike because Mike is an emotional guy, an energetic guy, an intense guy, a focused guy. He really does a great job of going from segment group to segment group, drill to drill. And I mean, this is a coach that is involved in all facets of his football team. And I like that. I want my head coach to be that way. I don't like it when a guy is singular and focused and he does one thing and only one thing. And he doesn't have, because I want my leader to be a leader. I want him to be able to talk to all people all the time and to be locked in and at least be aware. Now, you got to let your coaches coach, but you at least got to be aware of where things are trending. And he looked like a guy today that was just kind of like, all right, we're having one of those days. That's all. It's not the end of the world. They've had a lot of good practices. This wasn't one of those, in my opinion.
Yeah, it wasn't as organized as the others. He called it a pretty good day, but I think sometimes, and you know this, you work out a lot. There are some days where just finishing the workout is the accomplishment.
Yeah, it's bravo, right? Yeah, right. You just got it done.
So maybe that's what that was about at the end. I think also just if you look at the calendar and this week, it's your first day of pads on Tuesday. Everything builds to a crescendo there. You got a day off, a bit of a lull. You're back in full pads, and you got a scrimmage on Saturday. I think maybe just the human nature says, we're getting ready for that scrimmage. Maybe you take your, concentration off just a little bit, but it's nothing. It wasn't horrid. It wasn't, you don't walk out there saying, Jesus, I don't even know. They might get beat by 50 by LSU. It's nothing like that. It was just, they've had so many good practices in a row. You're like, that wasn't what we've been watching the last few days.
No, it wasn't crisp. Was not crisp. Something to mention here too. It's just, you're right, with this upcoming scrimmage, it's a big deal because they had the day off. They were assessing depth chart. You're trying to get some guys back, get them ready to rock. It was good to see Jamie Robinson and Akeem Dent back out there today, and they looked like they hadn't missed a beat. I thought both looked good. Jamie really looked good. He always does. You can just tell the difference between what he is as a player with his experience and instincts and size. You see it on each rep that he's involved in.
Yeah, there was a play he made in full team where he stops a run, and it requires preparation though to be in the position to make that play. So that's
quick when he recognized it.
Right.
Yeah,
the mind is sharp.
Did you see Trey Benson? The look on his face, like, who was that?
Yeah. Yep.
So that's funny because Trey's had his way in this camp. He's been really good. Trey Benson, folks, is silky. He's big. He's fast. does a lot of things well, picks up the blitz well. Trey's a guy I'm very excited to see play on Saturdays. But he had a run, and that's the play that Jamie's making, and this is a tip of the cap. Jamie didn't fall for the fake, didn't fall for the dead leg and the cut, and you could see Benson like, who the hell? Oh, it's you. Almost like, I forgot about you.
I see you've returned.
Yeah, you're back. You're different than what I'm used to dealing with out here, which is cool. Every team has that, not giving away secrets. You got your veteran players, the guys that have been in the system, the guys that understand, the guys that play with great confidence, the guys that have a physicality to them that's a little bit different. Those guys who project to the NFL, you see who they are. You know who they are. And so when you get a moment like that, it makes you smile because the player is in full recognition at that moment. Like, that was a little quicker. He got on me a little faster than I'm accustomed to. And then they check the number. They check the name. It's funny.
I've also decided that screw our credentials. Ira, get ready. I've got some quarterback information I'm going to share to the masses. You know where I'm going. Mike Norvell threw the ball around a little bit today.
Well, I don't want to get into why.
Oh, wait a minute. No, you didn't even have to do that.
I know it has nothing to do with our quarterbacks.
Yeah, it has nothing
to do with our quarterbacks. Nothing. Zero to do with our quarterbacks.
But Mike was chucking the rock around today. Once he got loose, it was all right.
I've been saying this for a week. They need to assess that situation.
See, I shouldn't have done what I did because now people are going to be like, what's he talking about?
I'm just
all
saying,
I was saying was Mike threw the football today.
Sometimes these student assistants and managers, they have roles to play. All of them do. A lot of times they're running around with water. Sometimes they're running around with flashcards. Other times they have cones. Other times they have to fake snap the ball.
Also, the movies that they watch when they grow up, are they only the movies in the 80s and the 90s where an extra gets just blown up when there's a chase scene? Like the Tom Cruise sprint scenes and somebody's in the way, or Arnold, and like just,
Boom.
A random person with no credit gets trucked, because they really look for contact. I feel like they're Michael Pittman. Not Micah Pittman, Michael Pittman. They're like, oh, can I bump into somebody as I run along the sidelines? I know there's 10 yards of space over here, but let's cut through this person.
So now as we take the next steps, it's very important, I think, that you'll see some things shored up. And it starts with this scrimmage on Saturday. I really, really wish, and again, forgive my voice today, guys. I'm fighting like hell to get through this week with this voice. I feel fine, but it's been bothering me all week.
Well, you've been yelling at the receivers at practice.
I'm not yelling.
Come on!
Make a catch! But I really wish we could see this scrimmage, because I'm interested in quite a few guys. And, I think, speaking in general, all right, just general overtures here, if Florida State is going to get appreciably better on offense, one of the things they're going to have emerge out of this camp is a receiver who is a legitimate deep threat out on the edge. A legitimate, consistent deep threat. He doesn't have to be Randy Moss. We don't have that guy on our roster. They don't have to be elite, but we need to get somebody who I think you can begin to trust to consistently present challenges to opposing defenses out wide, not from the slot. We got a lot of guys that can do it from the slot. Out wide, that can really stretch the field, that makes a defense play you honest and have to account for it. Because I think this is a team, and I said this before camp started, and we said it this entire offseason, that if this offensive line was improved and the floor was raised, and we've said we think it has been, and if this group was deeper, where they could withstand guys missing a series or a quarter or even a game, and you had some guys that replace the person that has to sit, and the drop-off isn't significant, and if Trey Benson is healthy and is going to be able to handle contact and get back to full speed, and is the guy that we see every day at practice right now, who's very impressive, to go along with Trayshawn Ward, who I love.
He's had a good camp.
He's had a great camp. Okay? If all of that is going to be something we can count on, then I think they're best suited. And let's not forget, if Jordan Travis is your starting quarterback, if all of that is true, then I think that you're a team that wants to run the ball, that wants to be physical, that wants to utilize the run game to set up the pass game. Some teams throw the football to set up the run. I think that the personnel on this football team is set up to run the ball and try to spring a big play on you down the field here and there. But I need to know that we can do that, that we can send that message to opposing defenses early, that you're not allowed to just stack the box and worry about the run. You've got to at least consider that we have a threat down the field. I think early in games, it's going to be vital that Mike is able to show that. And so this camp for me, and again, I'm not naming names or anything like that, is a lot about watching some of those guys out wide and seeing which of them is giving me a glimmer of hope in that arena, in that area. Who is it in that segment group that I go, okay, that might be a guy, that might be a guy. And, listen, just in terms of the physical tools, when we got him and we saw him in the spring, I said he's a million miles away because he's not a great route runner yet. But there's a guy, Deuce Spann, who you go, well, that's different. And there's a couple other guys that are candidates that you would look at and say maybe one of them will emerge. And I'm curious to see how they play in this upcoming scrimmage, because I think that they're working hard to find a guy like the guy I'm describing. I think that they know that would add an awful lot and create a level of balance that they certainly didn't have last year.
Well, the other thing, too, is what they're going against every day in camp is good, legitimate, because we know that from the last 8 games of the 2021 season that the secondary was better, like a lot better, with Amari and Cooper on one side, Noles in the middle, and then the 2 safeties. You're just trying to figure out that final corner position, and nothing has been determined yet. It's way too early to do that. But much like when an interior offensive lineman wins against a Lovett or a Cooper, I know what I'm seeing there.
Right.
If you win against this secondary in a full team setting, or when it's more than just, individual drills and maybe not everybody's on the same page or trying at the same level, like that means that you legitimately have done something. It's not a position group or a battle head to head where you question, I don't know, maybe the secondary is bad and the receivers are bad. I'm not sure. Secondary is good. So if you see any modicum of consistency over, let's say 3 practices, 3 full padded practices, and one name was good 2 of those 3 days, that's a good sign.
Yeah.
In previous years, we'd be like, I don't know, they're bad everywhere. So what? The receivers had a good day. I don't know. The secondary stinks. So what?
I think that's accurate. Ian, I'll answer your question when we come back from the break. It's a good one. Jeff Cameron Show, 93.3 Real Talk Radio and Warchant TV. Hey, Nole fans, our partner ISF Inc. is a national management and IT consulting firm located right here in Tallahassee, Florida, solving the future for state governments through strategy, process, and technology. As a trusted advisor for state governments, ISF knows the importance of defining a clear and detailed strategy. Our friends at ISF can help your organization create a strategy that sets you on a path to success. ISF, your vision plus our expertise brings your brilliant ideas to life. Visit ISF.com to learn more. ISF, solving the future.
Hearth and Patio want you to know now is the time to start thinking about your fireplaces. Yes, we know that temperatures are going to be in the mid to upper 90s for the next couple of months, but now is the time to start thinking about upgrading those fireplaces. You're not going to be using them. Get those fireplaces upgraded now. They can repair all makes and models of fireplaces. 850-727-4282. That's 850-727-4282. Or visit them online at hearthpatiotallahassee.com.
Hey Tallahassee, it's Sarah with Seminole Auto Glass. You're probably driving right now, which means you're surrounded by glass. Did you know that each piece is made differently? Your windshield is 2 sheets of glass with a thin plastic in between. This allows it to take an impact without going all the way through. Side and back glasses are typically tempered. This strengthening process is what allows them to be shattered in the event of emergency. Regardless of the glass or how it breaks, we can help. Trust your local auto glass experts. Seminole Auto Glass, proudly serving the Big Bend for over 15 years. Better call Seminole.
Every day, Sellers makes life a little better for homeowners, helping them find the best design ideas for their homes with the best quality tile, carpet, and hardwood flooring. Even mosaics, ceramic, and vinyl solutions are at their fingertips in their remarkable showroom. Maybe it's time for you to get the Sellers Advantage for your home or office. Find them on Capitol Circle Northeast, just north of Mahan Drive, or online at sellerstile.com. For style, quality, and design, get the Sellers Advantage. In Tallahassee, call 656-8453.
Crawfordville Auto and Tire, Crawfordville Auto and Tire. Oh, hey there. I was just singing the praises of Crawfordville Auto and Tire. They do just about everything. Complete engine rebuilds, brakes, shocks, tires, oil change, you name it, they do it. And they offer a 12-month, 12,000-mile warranty on all parts and labor. Most of the time, they can service your car the same day and offer towing to help you get to the shop. Now that's something to sing about. Open weekdays from 7:30 in the morning until 6 at night. Crawfordville Auto Repair and Tires.
So let's say you're considering buying a new home in the current climate. All heard that demand is high, inventory is low. So how do you get a leg up on the rest of the buyers all making offers on the same house as you? Oh, that's a toughie. But the first place I'd suggest you start is with a call to my friend Shannon at Legendary Home Loans. Shannon will set you up with a complete pre-approval underwriting. It used to be an upgrade, but nowadays it's got to be standard. You want to get your offer on a new home pushed to the front of the line, you need a TBD full underwriting approval from Legendary Home Loans. You'll shorten or even remove your financing contingency, and the sellers will know that your offer is real and ready to go. It's tough out there these days, folks, so why not have the advantage of a proven winning team in your huddle? Get pre-approval underwriting from my friend Shannon with the one and only Legendary Home Loans. Call now, 844-FSU-LOAN, 844-FSU-LOAN, or just visit FSUHomeLoans.com. FSUHomeLoans.com.
Equal housing lender. NMLS number 2270146.
We all want more energy, more strength, more results. Well, welcome to Orange Theory Fitness as you take a step towards feeling more alive today. Backed by science, Orange Theory's heart rate monitored workout is scientifically designed to keep heart rates in a target zone, spiking metabolism and increasing energy. Orange Theory Fitness is a one-of-a-kind group personal training workout resulting in more energy, visible toning, and extra calorie burn for up to 36 hours. Experience a more vibrant life today with Orange Theory Fitness. To find out more, go to orangetheoryfitness.com.
The Jeff Cameron Show, brought to you by Orange Theory Fitness. 2 Tallahassee locations, Midtown on Thomasville Road and Northside in the Village Common Shopping Center. Online at orangetheoryfitness.com.
Good cup of coffee, Tom. Got out there to practice, enjoyed that. Raced home temporarily before coming into the office. Needed to get a bite to eat. Had to get a bite to eat. And you know what I had? I had an avocado. Now, here's the thing. I love avocados. This wasn't about health. I just love them. They're delicious. But I'm very picky about an avocado. It has to be just right. And I frequently fail miserably. I buy these avocados. They have to be just right to the touch.
Well, you know the trick, right?
Well, no, what trick?
Okay, so at the stem of it,
Yeah, you pull it
and the color inside tells you all you
Yeah,
need to know.
no, I think it's nonsense. I've done it, but I don't buy it. I've had some that pass the test, and then you get them home, you eat them, and they're not right. But here's the deal. I now know when you have a really firm avocado, how many days you got to wait. I think I've got it down. Almost to the hour. And so I sliced that avocado open. I got rid of that pit. And I was looking at it. It looked right. It looked right. But time was of the essence. I had to get in here and do this radio show. And I said, okay, here's the test. You know when you cut diagonal with the knife, how easy does it go to the base? How easy can you get there? And I just did the shoobity shoop, and it was good to go. Scoop. Delicious. Perfect. We're on a roll.
Are you particular about your knife and the brand of it or the
no,
sharpness level?
It can be if the avocado is where it needs to be, it can be a damn butter knife. It's fine. You don't need anything super sharp if it's the right softness.
See, I don't eat avocados, but my wife is a fiend for them.
They're delicious.
Yeah.
Have you not had one since you were a child?
No, I've had one recently.
Have you?
Yeah.
Because a lot of times, over the years, and I don't blame you for this because we form early in our lives opinions about foods. You have one bad experience, it can shape the way you think about a food item the rest of your life, and you wouldn't know.
Yeah, Goldschlager for one, There's a food.
You wouldn't know if you didn't return and give it a go years later. If it's really firm paper bag with a banana. That's funny. So, hey, what I learned, is that you got to retry foods that you hated in your youth. You got to go back because your taste buds change. You got to go back and try foods. Now, if you say you've done that, then I'm not attacking. But remember, we had this conversation one time, and then you went back and tried something at my behest because I found out that I love cantaloupes, and I thought I hated them. My whole life, I thought cantaloupe was ass. And then I had a cantaloupe about 10 years ago for the first time in 20 years. I was like, this cantaloupe is delicious. What have I been missing?
I just tried for the first time in a long time eggs again.
Oh, they're delicious.
Nope. Still no.
How did you have them?
They were scrambled.
I
picked on them.
Have you had a hard-boiled egg recently? A little salt?
No.
You'd like it.
No, I wouldn't.
I think you would. I think you'd like it. How about over medium?
That's Jamie's temperature.
Yeah, not
so to
over
speak.
easy, but yeah. Oh, I see it. Been a listener since 2000 as an FSU junior when you were back on 1270 WNLS. That is correct. I woke up at 6 a.m. to listen back then. What were those days like for you back then? They were a little looser, a little off the rails at times. Yeah. That's
not for the donation. That's for the time.
Yeah. When Tom first started interning, many years later.
Yeah, 13. Well, 9 after that. 9. Yeah.
Yeah. And you heard, I guess you got access to or heard something in the system of me doing mornings.
Yeah.
And you were like, good God. You didn't dislike it, but you were like, this is a different guy.
No, it felt like, so for in today's terms, people who listen to this on the podcast, if you go 1.5 or 1.8 speed,
that was really fast.
That's what it sounded like
really fast.
at normal speed.
I had to learn to slow down.
Oddly enough, it's an odd day for this to come up because your voice today sounds
more
like
it did back then.
Yes, 100%. It's just that you would go Jimbo speed. If Jimbo was the head coach during your early broadcast career, that would have been the most ridiculous interview because it would have been two auctioneers.
The two of us would have gone back.
Two auctioneers talking to each other.
Live Spectator writes, Jeff in the morning show kept the FCC busy. That is true. I once survived an utterance in the morning that, frankly, I don't think it would have happened these days. I straight up said things you cannot say, yelling at this guy on the phone, and then realized that Matt Millar wasn't paying attention, and he let it go out over the airwaves without hitting the dump button, and I had dropped an MF on a guy, and it just and the phone lines are lighting up, and I'm banging the window telling him to dump it. I got mad at somebody, and it just
You never really did that by the time I started, except one time. Actually, I've had to use the dump button on me
on
more
yourself,
than you.
Yeah.
One was Barry Bond's story. And the one time you did, I was driving around. I was an intern. I called the hotline immediately. I was like, Matt, what are you doing?
Yeah.
Even though he was my boss, I said that because you dropped down with something you could not about an assistant coach.
Oh, I know what it was.
A descriptor.
Yeah. That was funny, though.
It was hilarious.
Yeah.
I know exactly where I was. I was right by Berkshire on
Berkshire
Ocala.
Manor, where I used to live.
I was driving right by there, and I still remember the panic I felt. Like, oh no, is my internship over because we're getting fined out the wazoo?
No, I got called in one time. Matt destroyed the tape. I was so proud of him. My man went to war for me. Yeah, Preston remembers when Daryl Dickey's wife called in. I do too. And I knew it was her. I was like, what, this woman's crazy. And then we
let's not relive these
no,
things.
Yeah. That was funny. Hey, so very quickly, when I said something I shouldn't have said one time, just language, nothing crazy, just language. And Matt knew we were cooked if that got back to our boss, Lee Bowen, rest in peace, Lee. And he got rid of the tape. And so there were enough emails that went to Lee that described word for word what I said. And
I don't know that I know this one.
I got called into the office. I used to come back after the morning show. I go home and take a nap.
Oh, so you had to look him in the eye. Yeah, okay.
I had to lie right to his face. I had to pull Rodney Dangerfield.
Is this work yours? I can't lie to you, Dean Martin. Yes, it is.
I had to do that. He's like, did you say? And then what I said, and I looked at him and I go, I would never do that. And he goes, did you do it? I go, no, I did not. And he's sitting there looking at me like, he actually was proud of me because he wanted me to say no so that that he could tell the bosses.
Yep.
Because he loved me. And he's like, I think I was the guy being encouraged by my boss to lie to him in that moment without him having to say it. Like, we both understood what was necessary. Just we knew what I had to say.
Gee whiz, Phil. The man just said the work is his own.
Yeah, that's it. So I did. I said direct. I looked right at him. I was like, no, I would never do that. And he goes, did you say? He repeated it like, I did not. And he's like, we're just looking at each other. And he goes, okay. I got up and left.
The Larry David.
I got to go back and answer this question that we had before the break. We got caught up in eggs and other things. And this question was, if that person, where is it? I got to find it. If, in fact, we find a guy to run, there it is. Thank you, Ian. Jeff, if they find that guy, can JT consistently hit those passes? Actually, I have a high level of confidence that JT, Jordan Travis, hits those passes better than most others. If it's anything outside the hash, down the sideline, he's got great touch on the deep ball. I mean, legitimately great touch on the deep ball. It's the best throw he has.
Yeah, if that's a space of, what do you think, 8 feet, he makes it look like it's a space of 20 feet with how he understands the depth, the correct shoulder, the leverage, all those things. Numbers to sideline.
I just realized that an old school listener who I love dearly noted that he remembers that exact moment and immediately began to wonder what my new career path would be. There were several of those the first 3 years. I've gone back before.
I wouldn't have handled that as well as Matt did, I think.
Well, Matt was loose too. I mean, it was a different time. It was a different era of radio. And I can remember him getting mad at me one time, though. He's like, would you stop? You're putting us in a bad position, in a precarious position, you know. Jordan Travis hits the deep ball just fine. It's all the other throws that he's pretty inconsistent with. And when you hear me criticize him, that's who I'm criticizing. That's what I'm criticizing. He's become a better leader from the position. I watch it every day in practice. He does a great job with it. He has days where he's firing on all cylinders and he hits all the throws and there it is. And then he has days where he just does not make the intermediate throw very consistently. And that kind of drives you nuts. And so there are so many things he does do well, though. And it's just, we just don't have that guy. We don't have a complete guy. Listen, if you do, then you're a top 25 football team.
Okay. So speaking specifically to the intermediate throws, it'll be interesting to see how we perceive things. It's like that game where everybody's in a meeting. What did you hear? Everybody hears something different. I think he's been better at the intermediate throw this camp. I think that every time there is an intermediate throw that's open and he nails it, they drop the ball. I can think of like 4 or 5 examples right now. No, I mean, not just today. I'm talking about intermediate throws that Jordan has made where you go, good God, sir, insert receiver's name here. And it's dropped. I can think of 5 examples, including today, but I can think of 5 total examples already where I'm saying, well, that's the throw. Are they surprised that the throw was delivered on time in that particular part of the field? Because why are they dropping a perfect pass?
It is no
it's
secret.
Been better.
It is no secret to anybody with eyes that's watched this team play over the last 2 years is that the passing game is lacking. It's just lacking. They have not been good in that area for a variety of reasons. And it seems like they take turns screwing it up. So if a guy gets open, the protection's poor. If Jordan puts it on him, he drops it. If, it's just one thing after the other, they have not.
There's protection and a guy's open, he doesn't see it. Yeah.
Right. Yeah. So that is just maddening. And I think that's the area that we have to see some improvement on. They're not going to be an elite passing offense. They don't have to be to win games. That's not, every quarterback in the league has a skill set that you look at and you go, okay, well, if he can be this in this area of weakness and continue to excel in these areas of strength, then we'll be fine. Very few I mean, even if you just want to graduate this conversation to the NFL, you have 5 or 6 quarterbacks in the league that are special, that just can do anything. You look at them and you're like, well, they move great within the pocket. They see it pre-snap. They've got a cannon. They can fit it into tight windows. And maybe 2 or 3 that can actually really run and do all those things as well. And then after that, you got a chunk of guys that things have to go well for them. They have to, the play has
in a
to be
specific area. Yeah.
Yes. So that's fine. I mean, we don't have Jameis Winston ain't here. Got it. That's not the knock. You can cater your offense around an elite strength, and he has one. And then just be average in these other areas, and you'll be all right.
Well, what gets exciting about this offense, and I see why you're saying that they're just an outside receiver, consistent one away. They're better at run blocking. I think that's just true.
I think so, yes. I think they're going to run the ball effectively. Correct. And that changes everything about what you can be in your pass game.
And then I would say the stable of running backs is better as well, year over year. Even though Corbin was a really nice player for us, I think it's better.
He played hurt a lot, though. He played hurt a lot, yeah.
But I think this group is better. It's more talented, more diverse.
I agree.
You got more to work with there. So you've got his legs, which are already a nightmare, and they were when you couldn't block it up. And you had a worse backfield in terms of talent. You still have his legs. You can block it up better in the run game, and you've got more weapons to use on the ground. These running backs are more dynamic. Trey Benson changes that. I think he changes the equation for the good.
Mm-hmm.
So that's already one side of offense, one facet of offense that's markedly better. I think they're closer. Like, they're not exactly an option offense in terms of all you could do is run, and then you hope that something's open way down the field because all you could do is
Calvin
run.
Johnson at Georgia Tech
right.
or something. Right?
They're a couple of notches closer to balanced. I'm not saying that they're, a fully balanced offense, but they're not quite. Yeah, Calvin's going to be open. Demaryius Thomas is open.
Right.
Because we have to worry about the run on every single play. So that's already, you're closer to the balance that you're looking for. And there are some guys who have shown, not consistently yet, but that they might be an option. A couple weeks from now, if one of those 3 looks even halfway decent at certain facets of running routes, that's going to be a tough offense to prepare for. Just put your cap on for the opposition. That's going to be tough to prepare for.
Right, but they got to get there. They're not there yet. I mean, I agree with you. That's like, I see real strengths with this team that I can identify quickly. That wasn't always the case. So if you're looking for progress,
right.
I mean, I can walk out there and say they're good here, they're good here. That I haven't been able to do that in recent years, so that's a positive sign. But I still need to see a lot more in the way of consistency in the passing game for them to be that dual threat, that problem to prepare for. Because if they don't get much better with the consistency of the passing game, then you can start to try. Some teams are capable, not all, but some teams are capable and equipped to take away the strength if they don't have to worry about the other. Clemson's capable, Florida's capable, LSU is capable, probably NC State is capable, Miami might be capable. So these are problematic issues. I mean, that's 5 times that somebody's going to take away the thing that you want to do because they don't have to worry about the other.
The thing I'd say, though, for these offenses, remember that there's a tie-in with Norvell and Gus. Remember that he's got some sort of link on the tree. Well, here's why I'm pointing that out.
Mm-hmm.
When you've got a base couple of things that you can do well, that kickstarts your drive. If you're in 2nd and 7 and 2nd and 6, if you want to break out some tempo, and they've done it in times here during games, so I'm not giving anything away, that's how you get teams off balance. And if you get teams off balance and their mind is racing because you're getting to the line of scrimmage and you're staying ahead in down and distance leverage, you don't have to be great at receiver because they're going to blow assignments just mentally because they're not prepared. So that's the thing that we're going towards here is if you can run the ball traditionally a little bit better, not with gadgets and angles and all kinds of stuff, that's always going to be there. But if you can run it traditionally between the tackles for 3 to 4 yards more than a few times a game, those drives stand a much better chance. What's what Jimbo used to say about preparing for the up-tempo offense? It's all about that first down, because once they move the chains now one time,
now it's go.
Now you're just guessing. You don't have time to prepare.
And you watch people who run these offenses. Jimbo did this, but Mike has done it at times, infrequently because of some of the problems we've had. But when there's a rhythm and you can see a coach getting into a rhythm, like, oh, I got your ass now, you're reeling. But you got to win first down.
That's probably why we were excited the most on Tuesday. I don't know that it was specifically about Tate, but you're seeing the rhythm. You're seeing that the offense it's not a disjointed mess where how many TFLs did we take last year? The yardage was absurd in tackles for loss.
No, I agree with you. It's about context and balance. When we come on the show, I want people to understand that we're seeing some good, some bad, and everything in between, and there are some unknowns. So, I feel like sometimes I might hyper focus on the negative and then too much on the positive to try to balance that. And I just think you got to be free to have the conversation. So I don't think we want to overreact any given day. I don't want you guys to read too much into an individual practice. I'm going to tell you if they're sharp, or I'm going to tell you if they look a little convoluted or disjointed in a given day. Don't read too much into the good or the bad there. As we get closer to game time, as we get closer to being able to, I think, present a better projection of what I think the season's going to be, because we will have had a lot more practices in pads, and including some scrimmages where we'll get some feedback. Then, right before we kick it off, I'll tell you where I think the areas of weakness are going to lie, how far along we are in the areas of strength, and where we need to get to cover up some of the blemishes. And we'll do all that. We'll do a final W's and L's.
Yep.
That'd be fun.
Look forward to that.
I know.
There's a lot to chew on.
If you're considering buying a new home in the current climate, you've heard that demand is high, inventory low. You want to get a leg up on the rest of the buyers, all making offers at the same house as you. Well, that's a tough one. You know that. But the first place I'd suggest you start is to call my friend Shannon. Shannon is a legend. This guy gets it done at Legendary Home Loans. Shannon will set you up with complete pre-approval underwriting. No longer an upgrade. That's a standard operating procedure now. Jumps you to the front of the line. You'll need a TBD full underwriting approval from Legendary Home Loans. You'll shorten or even remove your financing contingency, and the sellers will know you're very serious about your offer. So you want the advantage of a proven winning team in your huddle. Get pre-approval underwriting from my friend Shannon with the one and only Legendary Home Loans. Call now, 844-FSU-LOAN, 844-FSU-LOAN, or just visit FSUHomeLoans.com. That's FSUHomeLoans.com.
Your local news now.
A store clerk at a Gadsden County Dollar General reported a female who attempted to use counterfeit $20 bills to purchase a $380 gift card. The clerk immediately noticed that the bills were counterfeit and refused the purchase. The clerk recognized Deputy Stacy Humans entering the store parking lot and went outside to alert him of the attempted transaction. The suspect ran to a nearby car occupied by a male, and they fled at a high rate of speed. Deputy Humans initiated a traffic stop, and 307 counterfeit $20 bills were located through the investigation. The suspects, identified as Diamond Williams and Devon Hall of Atlanta, were arrested and booked in the Gadsden County Jail. Decatur County Fire and Rescue responded to a structure fire in Climax on Tuesday. Upon arrival, fire units found heavy fire coming from the structure. Because of the amount of fire and the size of the home, DCFR requested mutual aid from Bainbridge Public Safety and Grady County Volunteer Fire and Rescue Departments. The house is considered to be a complete loss. This is Rachel Lene with your Real Talk 93.3 local news update, brought to you by Macklemore Systems, Tallahassee's go-to Mac store. Check them out online at MacklemoreSystems.com.
This is meteorologist Paul Trombley with your Real Talk 93.3 weather update. Chance for scattered thunderstorms this afternoon. Otherwise, sunshine mixed with clouds at times. Highs level off around 91. South winds around 5 miles per hour. Chance for scattered thunderstorms tonight. Lows level off around 73. Partly cloudy. Chance for scattered storms again tomorrow. Daytime highs approaching 92. Mainly sunny skies and calm. This report is brought to you by The Lawn Johns. For all your landscaping and lawn care needs, visit thelawnjohns.com. Right now, 90.
Whitten Glass has been taking care of families since 1945.
Experienced, reliable professionals who offer only the best, like Whitten's top-of-the-line bath enclosures. Eye-catching storefronts are a specialty at Whitten Glass, and they provide precise installation.
Whitten Glass, Tallahassee's first family in glass. Online at whittenglass.com. Call 850-222-5781.
Well. Hey, Jeff, look at this place.
Yeah. Well, doing well. It's been a while since I've seen you, brother, but, it hasn't been a while since I've been over to Gordo's. I go there on the regular because of you, Eddie.
Well, we keep you regular.
Well, that's true, but I think of Gordo's as a place to sit down, have a cold beer, talk to your friends, enjoy the sports, eat the delicious food. But I think of you as Uncle Eddie, a man who takes care of his people and takes care of the town.
I appreciate that, Jeff. Hey, and we'll keep you regular.
Gordo's, bringing the flavor and flair of Cuban food to Tallahassee since 1996.
Here's what you missed on the Greg Tish Show.
We need to have history. We need to have literature. It deserves an explanation. We don't need to be promoting lifestyles that come into play for your average elementary school.
Well, I had an experience with this. When my daughter was in school, her teacher gave her a book to read, but then she asked me what the C word is.
That was in the book.
That was in the book.
Okay, so talking about the C word. So you're talking about conservatives, right?
The Greg Tish Show, Monday through Friday, 6 to 9 a.m., only on Real Talk 93.3. The Jeff Cameron Show is a production of the Warchant.com Multimedia Network. Check out Warchant.com today for the latest news inside Florida State athletics. That's Warchant.com. Now, back to Jeff on Real Talk 93.3.
Some wagers here soon enough. That'll be good. Big Daddy J makes the return here soon. Redemption Thursday will be making its return very soon. It's exciting.
Out of curiosity, just back to practice for a second, because during the breaks, I'm putting together observations to appear on warchant.com, which you can join for just $1 for the year, by the way.
It's $1.
That's right.
It's $1.
He said the magic word. There it is.
Hey, look at that.
Look at that. Anything jump out to you? Was any player today? I know it was disjointed, but was there one dude you said, "Oh, all right, either another strong day," or "Look at that, finally a strong day"?
No,
because I'll add that in the observations if you got it.
No, not really. I didn't. I don't think I saw anything that I would say merits that.
Mm.
You know, I saw some up and down play from some guys that I was happy to see, step up and make some plays, but nothing that blew me away. I would say that, actually, okay, oddly, Demore Tate played well today.
Really?
Yeah.
See, we're on different halves of the field for most of
Yeah.
the day, so this is kind of fun for me.
I actually got to notice him a little bit today, and we've been waiting on him. So
that's in defensive back on receiver drills or team?
Yeah,
or what?
he did both. I
Nice.
thought he was in good coverage several times. Man, when you look at him, you think that's an NFL player.
Yep.
I mean, he looks like an NFL player. He doesn't play like an NFL player yet, but he looks like one.
Ira said this to me yesterday. He must be an awesome teammate because anytime he makes a play,
They all go
there's
crazy.
like 5 dudes around him immediately. So he must be just outstanding on the sidelines, in the locker room, film room, all that stuff.
I think they've got, that's a topic, by the way. I know it's the time of year where this is the kind of stuff that becomes the norm. But I honestly, here it matters more because we had such a toxic place. And when you are coming out of that environment and you're trying to get to a place where you don't have to worry about that nonsense, like that shouldn't be anything that comes up ever. Football's hard enough. Like getting bigger and stronger and working on your craft on a daily basis and sacrificing all the things that you have to sacrifice in the way of pleasure in order to play big-time college football, you ought not encounter an obstacle that has everything to do with like locker room culture. Like that should never happen. Like you should almost be in a position to take for granted the fact that the guy next to you is going to be busting his ass in the same way that you're going to be busting yours. And we weren't that way for a very long time. You had very selfish individuals. You had coaches who had lost the team. And you had guys who kind of were, they could sense that we were rudderless. And that is not conducive to growing and getting better and working harder and finding success. That's true of any workplace. But that's really, you got to just kind of know that in a sacrifice-laden sport like football, that all these guys are going to care as much as you care. That they're going to do the things they've got to do to prepare to be good. They're going to go to bed on time. They're going to eat the right foods. They're not going to miss their workouts. They're going to try hard when they get to practice. They're going to watch the film. They're going to find their areas of weakness, get coached hard, accept that the coaches are trying to make them better, buy in, and work on that. But, I mean, it's crazy when you suck for 5 years the way we have, you can go out there and watch a practice and say, these sons of bitches don't care about each other. And that was the worst. That made it all the worse. You're like, well, you got no chance if the bare minimum isn't being done, that the work isn't being put in, and that the guy next to you isn't willing to try as hard as you are. And that's gone, man. That is all gone now. That exists. They have done that. And I get that that's the bare minimum. You know, I go, great. They care enough to try hard every day. They care enough to prepare. They care enough to do right by the guy next to him. But I'm telling you, when that wasn't in place, it made watching the losses that much more difficult because you couldn't fall back on a culture. You couldn't fall back on something you knew. Like when they lost the first 4 games last year, I thought, are we going to see this again? Because had they quit last year, Mike would be a dead man walking right now. They wouldn't have been able to fire him, but he would be a dead man walking right now. The fact that they stayed bought in to his messaging, his vision for what they should be, his belief in what makes a good football team and the way you got to work at it and the way you got to care about each other and the way you got to prepare, and the fact that he was unwavering even after a godforsaken 0-4 start and the most embarrassing loss in program history is a really good sign that you can at the very least trust that they are going to work their ass off every day. And they do. That I can report that 100%. They're all there. So when you talk about players coming over to Tate or anybody else for that matter and get excited about guys, that they do that every day. That is now a common occurrence. Hour number 2 forthcoming.
Your AC unit decides to give up the ghost. It doesn't always pick the best time, but no matter what time, day or night, or day of the week, you can call E&B Heating and Air Conditioning. We'll be out to bring your AC unit back to life. We've been repairing and replacing heating and air conditioning systems in the North Florida and South Georgia area since 1974. So when your air conditioner stops working, call E&B Heating and Air Conditioning to the rescue.
You were always more than my mom. You were my role model, my best friend, and biggest supporter. You filled my days with unconditional love. And you also prepared for the day when you couldn't be here. Because of the woman you were back then, I'm able to be the woman I am now. Your planning made this moment possible.
Set your family up for life. Southern Farm Bureau Life Insurance. Your friends for life.
This is Andy Cohen. When I was a law enforcement officer, I devoted my life to a career of service and protection. Who's protecting you? Give me a call. 850-671-FARM. That's 671-FARM. Helping you is what we do best.
Southern Farm Bureau Life Insurance Company, Jackson, Mississippi. Not licensed to do business in all 50 states.
DQ presents... Picture this. Picture the burger of your dreams. It's on the new DQ Signature Stack Burgers menu. A lineup of 5 premium burgers like the Flamethrower Signature Stack Burger and Loaded A1 Signature Stack Burger with 100% seasoned real beef patties, melty cheese, and a combo of top-notch toppings and sauces galore. This dream burger is calling your name. But it isn't a dream. You're ordering at the DQ drive-thru. The DQ Signature Stack Burgers lineup. Try today. DQ. Happy tastes good.
It's back to school time, so here's a lesson in big wireless hype. Flashy phone plan deals usually don't add up to actual savings. Graduate to Straight Talk Wireless and get our Silver Unlimited plan with unlimited high-speed data and 5 gigs of hotspot data for just $45 a month. Plus, get a Samsung Galaxy A13 5G for only $149, all on America's best 5G networks. Unlimited data, less money, no-brainer. Straight Talk Wireless, available at Walmart and Walmart.com. 5G capable device required. Actual availability, coverage, and speed may vary. A month equals 30 days. See latest terms and conditions at straighttalk.com.
There's fun to be had every night at the Corner Pocket. Take home prizes on Trivia Tuesdays and Beer Bingo Thursdays. And kickstart your weekend with Martini Fridays. Plus happy hour runs every weekday and game day specials every time the Noles take the field. Watch all the best games at the Corner Pocket's Vegas Wall, featuring 560 inches of flat screen TV heaven.
Oh, really?
The best food, the best drinks, and the best place to watch all the games. Tallahassee loves the Corner Pocket.
Coming up next, more of the Jeff Cameron Show. Live and local on Real Talk 93.3. WVFT, Greta, Tallahassee.
Breaking news this hour from townhall.com. I'm John Scott. China has conducted precision missile strikes in waters off Taiwan's coast, part of military exercises that have raised tensions in the region to their highest level in decades. That follows a visit by House Speaker Nancy Pelosi. China earlier announced that military exercises were underway in 6 zones surrounding Taiwan, which Beijing claims as its own territory. 5 of the missiles fired by China landed in Japan's exclusive economic zone. Japan protesting the missile landings as serious threats to its national security. President Biden signing an executive order aimed at securing abortion access for women who travel to states offering the procedure.
The president took the action during a White House meeting attended by the vice president, cabinet secretaries, and other officials who are pushing for women's reproductive rights. Mr. Biden noted that Kansas voters just rejected a measure to tighten abortion restrictions. He also mentioned the Justice Department's lawsuit against a pro-life law in Idaho.
White House correspondent Greg Cluxton. Also at townhall.com, some members of Congress are worried about the U.S. national security in general, and more specifically, American food security.
A couple of Republican senators have teamed up on legislation that would block Chinese Communist Party members from buying U.S. land. The bill, drafted by Senators Tommy Tuberville and Tom Cotton. The Agriculture Department reports that foreign parties hold an interest in roughly 37.5 million acres of American agricultural land. Tuberville says we cannot continue giving our top adversary a foot in the door to purchase land in the United States and undermine our national security. Rich Thomason reporting.
The Dow is down 84 points, but the NASDAQ is up 28. More at townhall.com.
You find yourself stuck in a timeshare? Get the real facts about the timeshare industry and your options for cancellation. Chuck McDowell, founder of Wesley Financial Group, beat the largest timeshare company in federal court and has put together a free information guide that reveals the secrets the timeshare industry doesn't want you to know, including the 5 ways to get rid of your timeshare. Call now and get this timeshare cancellation guide absolutely free.
Call 800-859-6688. That's 800-859-6688.
The fight for the unborn is raging in our country. The Supreme Court has overturned Roe v. Wade, clearing the way for many states to ban or severely limit abortion. The debates have never been stronger. During this critical time, the award-winning film, The Matter of Life, cuts through the rhetoric and hatred and exposes the real issues surrounding the plight of the unborn. The Matter of Life. Stream it today at salemnow.com and have your own life transformed as you watch The Matter of Life.
Hi, I'm Dr. Shannon Lord with Finn Chiropractic. We are primary care physicians, and you don't need a referral to come see us. Chiropractors not only help you get to the root cause of your problem, but it helps get rid of neck pain, back pain, and headaches. It makes your body whole and healthy on the inside. So if you or a loved one has neck pain, back pain, or headaches, make an appointment today to get to the root cause of your problem. Come see me, Dr. Shannon Lord, at finnchiro.com, FENNCHIRO.com, because your chiropractor loves you, and there's nothing you can do about it.
We all want more energy, more strength, more results. Well, welcome to Orange Theory Fitness as you take a step towards feeling more alive today. Backed by science, Orange Theory's heart rate monitored workout is scientifically designed to keep heart rates in a target zone, spiking metabolism and increasing energy. Orange Theory Fitness is a one-of-a-kind group personal training workout resulting in more energy, visible toning, and extra calorie burn for up to 36 hours. Experience more vibrant life today with Orange Theory Fitness. To find out more, go to orangetheoryfitness.com.
Broadcasting live from Florida's capital city, this is the Jeff Cameron Show, brought to you by Orange Theory Fitness on Real Talk 93.3. Now, stop what you're doing and listen closely. It's time for the Jeff Cameron Show in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Ball State, Louisiana kickoff. Just got that in the mail today.
Mine did not get approved.
Well, you're not going to be in. So it is. We'll make our way back. I'm looking forward to it. Should be a lot of fun. Wouldn't it be great if they were able to win that game? I'm not a fan of the Superdome per se.
Never been. I guess that streak will continue. But I hear it's...
Well, you're going to be in New Orleans.
Yeah, no, to the Superdome.
Well, you can come see it. You can come see it. But, you know.
It's just a what? Sterile building from the outside?
Yeah, it sucks. Yeah, it's not much of a stadium. I've had some great moments in times in New Orleans and in the Superdome. But it's just can you guys tell me, for those of you that go to Saints games, is it still the guy? Is he still the PA announcer with that annoying voice? He's been there. He was there forever and ever and ever. And I used to hear him. It drove me nuts every time because we went to the Superdome every damn year for a stretch there. It seemed like, and it was just, I would go in there. I'd be like, oh, this guy again. Because he's the worst.
Why does he have like a scratchy voice?
He's got a nasally, crappy voice. It's not a good voice.
Tear down Saints.
It was bad. It was troublesome. I don't know why. I just directly associated to. I hated it. And I don't know if he's still doing it, but I remember many years later watching a game, an NFL game, and I heard it come through the TV. I was like, that's that son of a bitch. That's him.
It's third down.
It wasn't quite like that, but it was annoying. It was. So if you guys know that, let me know if he's still there. I don't know. He might be a legend there locally. Maybe they love him. An acquired taste. Who knows? We're hearing there's no cash in the Superdome. I'm going to be in the press box. I won't be able to live it up in the Superdome the way that I once did.
You got any family going? Any friends?
Yeah, lots of friends. Lots of friends.
So your dad's not making the trip?
I don't think so. I don't think he wants to do that one, which stinks. I would have loved to. Had a good time with my dad in New Orleans many times, many a Florida State victory. Big bowl games, but I don't think he's going this year. He's coming back from some Alaskan adventure.
We've got to find on Friday night a restaurant with outstanding music and the best of their food, like the locals kind of place.
Yeah, it's not hard to do, buddy.
All right.
And I've got two people that I trust implicitly on that front that have been there and lived there for over 15 years now, and they'll be like, "Okay, I got you," because they know how we want to get down.
It's
They're
the
gonna be
music
like,
too.
yeah. Oh,
music
music
is very,
key.
very important. I want to hear that music.
Yeah.
Of the Bayou.
You want Zydeco? You want to hear it all? Yeah,
yes, sir.
You want to do it up? Yeah, we will. We will. It'll be a good time, and I look forward to it. I get more nervous every day we talk about it. It is vital that they get a win either in that game. I really would like them to win that game, or the Louisville game.
It's starting to change, right?
Well, you just can't lose both. You just can't, and I can't imagine the pressure that will be on them if they lose that LSU game going into the Louisville game, because the whole world knows your season is on the line. If you lose the LSU game, go into Louisville. If you start 1-2, whatever hopes you had in procuring interest and or commitments from recruits that are undecided, it's gone. And it's gone. I mean, just like that at 1-2, you're done. You're done. They check out, they move on. Even if you want to say, well, that's unfair. What if Florida State rattled off 5 straight? Well, what if? Great. It's done. With the way the recruiting cycle works now, and when kids are making decisions, I'm just telling you, they cannot start. You know this. They just can't start poorly.
Well, the month of September has been the bane of our existence since 2017. I mean, 16, we won the opener against Ole Miss in Orlando.
Yeah.
And that was after a wretched first half on a Labor Day night.
We were getting blown out.
Yeah. DeMarcus Walker show, DeAndre Francois show, and it worked out. Since then, the month has been horrible. And unfortunately, Duquesne's on the 27th of this month. So that doesn't count. So September will start with LSU and Louisville. And if you win the LSU game, to me, I feel like that one matters more because of what it can do for recruiting.
You think it's a catapult to bigger and better things?
Kids are playing. The kids are playing the night we're playing Louisville. It's a Friday night game. So if you want the max impact in the homes of kids that are impressionable, you want the Sunday night game. They've got the next day off from school, it's against an SEC power. Not this year, but branding-wise, it's an SEC power. You can pitch that. You can make that work, and it parlays into a bye week. I mean, it's all right there.
Man, I want this for them for a lot of reasons. We have not been able to get out of our own way. It's been one succession of either mistakes and or circumstance. It doesn't really matter anymore.
A lot of circumstance.
There is a lot of circumstance there, but it just doesn't matter anymore. At some point, you've got to see a step being taken forward. And I think everybody gets that. Like, I can be empathetic with how we've arrived at this place, but it doesn't matter. At some point, you've got to kick down the door. And that's what this year is. Look, man, a transition year and a COVID year ain't good to start your career. But it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter now. You got to have a winning season, period. And I think you got to win one of those two games, or else you're really up against it. You're really you're staring down the barrel of another mediocre to poor season if you start 1-2, period.
Right, because
you remove all wiggle room.
You've got
Clemson, Miami on the road, Florida at the end of the year.
You come back to Boston
on the road at NC State,
Boston College, and Wake, right? So you could be 3-2 if all of the things go right at that point. But then it's NC State and Clemson back to back. I mean, geez.
That's what I mean.
So you're looking at.
You see how quickly and easy it is to recognize the dire straits you're going to find yourself in if you start 1-2.
Because then you're 3-4 going into the bye for Georgia Tech. So then you're 4-4, and who cares about Georgia Tech? Now you're in November and you're 4-4,
and you have to go undefeated.
Right?
No, man. No, you can. I think it's suffice to say they cannot start 1-2 and expect to have a successful season. They can't. Now that's not. Some people look at that and they're like, well, golly, you're bringing me down. Well, no, there's no law that says they have to start 1-2. Go win a damn football game. So it's not like I'm saying they're going to start 1-2, but I'm just telling you the reality is if they do, they're effed.
Time was you didn't have to tell Florida State to go win a football game. They just did a lot.
Yeah. Yeah. And it's not even for me, like we've lost enough these last 5 years that I am very pragmatic about the building blocks it takes to get to where you want to go, the process that we're involved in, the time it takes. I can adjust that to that. I have. And that's fine. But now I know that if they go 1-2 here, it is protracted. It's going to continue perhaps for another 3 years. And I don't know that I have that kind of patience because that's an 8-year rebuild total. I mean, come on now. We're starting to enter into Nebraska territory at that point.
Yeah, if you want to get pessimistic and cynical, the reason I would be pessimistic and cynical is because I think this fan base has done a really good job this offseason of not being unrealistic. Like they're asking for 8 wins.
Yeah.
And I think in some instances, depending upon who the 7 are against, they wouldn't jump off the ship at 7 if it looks like there's market improvement, but they want 8. They want 8. They're not asking for 10. They're not asking for the glory days of 29 straight. They've been reasonable. And I feel like the reward for being reasonable as a pessimist would be, you don't even get that. No. And I understand your expectations have come down. You're asking for market improvement, not overnight success. You're just looking for incremental improvements, and you'll buy in long term. But you won't get it because you're being reasonable.
Yeah, by the way, so, damn it, I did it again. There's my crutch. I don't know how it snuck back in to the lexicon, but the phrase, by the way, did.
That's because you're focusing on projecting your voice.
I'm trying to survive the week. And I feel fine. I'm just losing my voice every second we're on the air. Now.
My right ear doesn't work. All the shouting you're doing in practice.
But
come on, Mike.
I'm not shouting at practice.
Mike, get over here.
I don't want to start over. I just don't want to start over. That's what I'll be in the fetal position. If we go 1-2, I'll be like, God, we're starting over again. I got to do this again.
We'll drop the mic down to you as you're in the fetal position. Hello, everybody. I'm in the fetal position here on a Monday. We're starting over.
It's just also they've put in the work. If they did,
Yeah, wanted for them.
Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. I mean, they've put in the work. That's the thing. We've had teams that were not imminently likable. And I hate when that happens because then I have to come on here and I almost sound like I'm anti. And it's just that they didn't do anything to endear themselves for me. And listen, in football, I just got done a diatribe at the end of last hour. In football, it is such a tough sport to play. It is so hard to practice this game. So, you at least have to do yourself the service of working hard and preparing. And if you're not willing to do that, well, then you can't come by any success. And I can't like you. I can't root for you. I can't be part of that. I don't care about you at that point. It's like it's a poorly written character in a movie. You're like, well, what do I care what happens to this asshole? That was close.
That was close.
Caught myself.
Yeah.
But that's what you do. You say, well, what do I care about this guy? And that is kind of where sometimes we've had teams like that.
How's that Robitussin treating you?
Sometimes we have teams. We've had teams like that where we go, "Oh, I care about this guy or this team," but that's not this one. That's not this one at all.
Not at all.
Not at all.
Not at all.
No.
Agreed. Yeah, they're easy to root for, and when you also see guys buy in, that means that there's humility to begin with. There's something wrong with me. I need to get better. And you appreciate that because that takes trust. And these guys have been burned, the veterans especially. I mean, Akeem Dent is somebody I keep coming back to. How many times was that kid failed? Did he fail us on his own? Did he make some choices for number one? I believe he did. But was he largely failed? Bigger piece of the pie? Consistent coaching changes? Poor coaching and development? That's the larger piece of the pie than some of the decisions he made. And yet he chose at 0-4 after being failed for the better part of 5 years. At 0-4 last year to get better, to get tightened up defensively, and to be one of the strengths of our defense. Well, I understand they put him in a different position to succeed, but I mean, how many times has he done that? How many times has he been moved back and forth and back and forth? I mean, that's terrible, detrimental to his career and his potential growth and potential payday down the line. He was a high enough blue chipper. He was expecting to get paid coming out of high school, and you still have the fortitude to say, all right, even though I've been wronged all these other times, I'm going to believe once more. And then for it to pay off, if it can this year, that would be an amazing story and a deserved one.
Oh, there'd be a lot of amazing stories if this thing gets turned around. Guys who were unwavering or were on the cusp of not believing, but then bought in and took a leap of faith. Guys whose abilities improved through really hard work. I mean, you got a lot of storylines that'll be easy to write and talk about on a daily basis if this thing gets turned around. One of those is the head coach. One of those is the head coach. I mean, he doesn't need me to do his bidding for him. I'm just saying that would be a storyline. I mean, that's that guy. Because I remember the look on his face after that Jacksonville State game.
Yeah. But it wasn't the same thing.
It wasn't the same as Willie's look against Virginia Tech.
Yes, that's important.
Well, it is important. One guy was fooled by what he thought he had. Another guy realized he had just taken a step back that is hard to recover from. He knew that in that moment, no matter if he thought they were doing the right things, he treated that game like a scrimmage and he got burned. And there's nothing you can say. In that moment, there's nothing you can say. You have to wear it. He owned it, but that's all you can do.
And it wasn't the end, though. They lost 2 more games. That's the other thing. Like, if you want to say that loss was now you're down 0-2 in the count, then what's the next 2 weeks? Like barely nubbing a foul ball, drops out of the catcher's mitt. You're like, all right, he could have caught that one. Glad he has terrible hands. Let's stay in this at bat. We're still alive.
It's the Jeff Cameron Show, 93.3 Real Talk Radio, Warchant TV. Hey, fans, our partner ISF Inc. is a national management and IT consulting firm located right here in Tallahassee, Florida, solving the future for state governments through strategy, process, and technology. As a trusted advisor for state governments, ISF knows the importance of defining a clear and detailed strategy. Our friends at ISF can help your organization create a strategy that sets you on a path to success. ISF, your vision plus our expertise brings your brilliant ideas to life. Visit ISF.com to learn more. ISF, solving the future.
Now go call Seminole Glass. They'll get on the road and get it done.
Glass. Your local family-owned glass company, serving the Big Bend for over 15 years. At Seminole Auto Glass, we care about your safety. Insurance will send you wherever it benefits them, not the quality of service. There's a difference in auto glass companies. Trust your local auto glass experts. Seminole Auto Glass.
They handle any kind of broken glass, and you know who they are.
Better call Seminole.
Choose Hearth and Patio for custom fireplaces, maintenance, outdoor grills, kitchens, fire pits, lighting, and so much more. Check out all of Hearth and Patio's options online at hearthpatiotallahassee.com. Hearth and Patio, they keep the home fires burning.
Physical stress on our bodies can take its toll as the years go by. Whether you're looking to get back into an old sport or just want to spend more time outdoors to explore all life has to offer in our beautiful city, the dedicated team at TOC is here for you every step of the way. You can trust TOC for all your orthopedic needs. And now, scheduling an appointment has never been easier. Just visit teamtoc.com and click schedule online. That's teamtoc.com.
Hi, this is Justin Colvin, founder of the Medicare Help Desk. I routinely speak to seniors who are overwhelmed by the multitude of coverage options available to them. That's why I created the Medicare Help Desk radio show. Tune in every Sunday at 11:30 a.m. where I provide clear answers to all your questions about Medicare.
Summertime is color time. This summer, why not spend your time off with a home improvement project? You can use this time to try one of the most popular DIY projects, painting. And you can find your favorite color with one of America's most popular paints, Benjamin Moore. Shop for all the best paint colors and paint supplies at Epps Decorating Center with 2 convenient locations in town. Find out more online at epsdecorating.com.
Are you prepared for more severe food shortages? It's likely that over the next year, serious food shortages will plague us. American farmers are dealing with insane diesel fuel prices and fertilizer shortages, which will lower crop yields. And that means your family's favorite foods will soon be in short supply while fetching sky-high prices. Inflation is the new normal, folks. It's time to act before things get even worse. Go to mypatriotsupply.com without delay. You'll find Ready Hour emergency food kits from My Patriot Supply that last up to 25 years in storage. Each kit provides over 2,000 calories a day to keep your energy up. Order your emergency food kits today by going to mypatriotsupply.com. Your food ships fast and arrives in unmarked boxes. Listen, there are ways to beat food shortages. When you're ready for real preparedness, make sure to look for Ready Hour foods from My Patriot Supply. Go to mypatriotsupply.com right now. mypatriotsupply.com.
We all want more energy, more strength, more results. Well, welcome to Orange Theory Fitness as you take a step towards feeling more alive today. Backed by science, Orange Theory's heart rate monitored workout is scientifically designed to keep heart rates in a target zone, spiking metabolism and increasing energy. Orange Theory Fitness is a one-of-a-kind group personal training workout resulting in more energy, visible toning, and extra calorie burn for up to 36 hours. Experience a more vibrant life today with Orange Theory Fitness. To find out more, go to orangetheoryfitness.com.
The Jeff Cameron Show, brought to you by Orange Theory Fitness. 2 Tallahassee locations, Midtown on Thomasville Road and Northside in the Village Common Shopping Center. Online at orangetheoryfitness.com.
Welcome back. Jeff Cameron Show, 93.3 Real Talk Radio, Warchant TV. I was about to cough, so that's why you got the TV. It sounded like Mel Tillis.
What was wrong with the chair? Was it sinking?
Yeah, it was just starting to sink down. I was like, what's going on here? I don't think I can tell this story. There was a guy way back when that was friends with my brother. I think his name was Chris Ford. And
oh, no.
No, he was well, bless his heart. He passed away many years ago, but he had a severe stutter, and he had the greatest sense of humor about it. He would make fun of himself, and he would make me laugh harder at him making fun of himself than the actual stutter, because I'm not a jerk. I wasn't going to laugh at him while he was stuttering, but he would point it out over and over again, and he would make hilarious jokes about it.
My dad does that as well with his, because he's got dentures. He's in his elder age.
Yeah.
And like sometimes he'll get tongue tied because of the denture.
Mm.
And then he'll go, get it together, Thomas.
Yeah, make
And
fun of himself.
It'll
Right?
snap you out of it.
Yeah.
It'll light the room on fire.
Yeah, you're trying not to laugh because you kind of want to, and at the same time, that's rude. But then he makes fun of himself, so you're like, all right, here we go.
Yeah. Or he'll get mad and go, damn it, spit it out.
Oh my goodness gracious. Well, I'll answer some more of these, which I skipped over, but I would just tell you, I don't think here is something that I haven't addressed, and somebody brought it up about officiating here in the chat. You wanted a positive today, Tom? Greedy Vance twice covered somebody without committing pass interference.
Why is that notable?
Twice. And really good coverage. All right, Greedy. It can be done. You don't have to grab.
Jerrion hasn't been bad in camp either. Interesting developments here.
So my observation about the defense is less to do with whether or not, so somebody, was like, there's no way we're better on defense than we were last year when we had Keir Thomas and Jermaine Johnson. Right. You can't lose those caliber of players, and including, Jermaine's the first rounder. So there you go. But you are better at linebacker than you were last year because of Tatum Bethune, who always has a good day.
Every day.
All right.
You can set a watch by it.
How about this? Because I don't think he'd get mad about this at all. Pick 2 players that are good every day. 2 players that are good every single day.
Snake draft. You want the first pick or the second pick?
I want the first pick.
Go ahead.
Trey Benson.
Okay. Does Tatum Bethune count? Because
Yeah, you can take him too.
Okay. Bethune, love it. Fabian, love it every day.
That's correct.
Yeah, I know.
That is correct. You nailed your second and third pick. Good every single day.
Uh-oh.
I got to give you a fourth.
Uh-oh.
Dylan Gibbons.
Yep.
Every single day.
We go another couple rounds here.
So we're up to 4.
Yep.
Could we have gotten to 4 players that were good every single day in practice last year?
Ooh.
I don't think so.
Probably not.
I'd
have to outsource that to Ira, though. He was at more in-season practices than I was, for sure.
Yeah. But so we're up to 4. Do you think we have 5 and 6?
I've got 5.
Okay, I know. Can I guess your 5?
Sure.
Cooper.
No. And
That's
yes.
a good pick.
Yeah.
So he'll be 6. Who's your 5?
Trayshawn.
That's correct.
Every day.
Every day. Every day. That's 5 and 6. Okay. Can we get to 7, 8 players that are good every single day? Probably not. I don't think we can.
No, because the safeties weren't playing every day. And that was public knowledge. Mike said the safeties were coming along. I think if Jamie Robinson was out there every single day, you'd probably say yes to that. Or Akeem. I'm close with Bryson Estes. I'm this close to saying it every single day. He's been really good.
I think Estes could fit in this conversation. I think he could. I have
as
not
a depth piece. He's again.
I have not seen him have a bad day. I have not seen him have a bad day yet. Now he hasn't always been. You're not looking at him going, he's a dominant player, but he hasn't had a bad day. He's been good. He's come a long way in a hurry.
Yep.
That Joker is strong, silly strong.
Yeah. As close as Farmer. I notice him a lot.
Deloach is kind of close too.
Oh man, no, I think he is.
I think he is close.
I haven't seen a bad day out of him.
So that would be 7 and 8.
Could be.
Okay, so that is, that is a really positive sign. If we're just trying to pick players that have been good every single day of practice, the fact that you and I can legitimately, I think, get to 8, it's a really good sign. I don't think we could have gotten to 5 and 6 last year.
Who's the closest to the defensive ends? I think it's Verse.
It is Verse.
And he might be in that conversation, but I missed the first couple of days without shoulder pads.
Man, it's Verse, by the way. God, doggone, I did it again. Verse is fascinating. He'll try a man's patience. I mean, I think he is going to be an irritant to opposing teams.
Oh, God. Yep, he will be.
I mean, over the top.
For such a level-headed dude away from it.
He's a smart guy, yeah. He's a guy that, I mean, look, he's a guy that, I guess, I mean, not only has he improved from spring to now, he's super strong. He's also not afraid. He'll tell you about it every rep. You know, he has a zeal for practice. I can't get mad at a guy. I would have hated repping him. We always had guys, and you guys out there that have played football, you know this guy. There's the guy in practice where you're like maybe working on a walkthrough or technique. And this is one of those guys that's going to give it a little what for, even though the emphasis isn't on effort on that particular rep. But you know, you forget for a second and kind of half step, and he comes up under your chin. You're like, okay, man. Okay. That's that guy. He's always going full bore. Now, from the outside, and as a coach, you would say, I need a couple guys like that. I need some guys like that. As a player, when you're repping against that guy, you're like, all right, look here, Chief. We don't always have to go all out, especially when he's telling you, you know, we're walking through this particular play.
Yeah, I think we've actually, this specific player, because Verse is so interesting, is fit for, and I don't know if you want to do it here or next, but it's solving for the future.
Well, we can solve for the future here real shortly.
Okay. I think talking about him specifically is an interesting thing because it can go a lot of ways.
Verse you're talking about? Yeah.
Verse, specifically him, because his skill set, it's budding still, but it's something that everybody's interested in and is key to getting off the field on third down. I mean, like, I think there are other options, but he's the primary option. And I've seen all at once some things that have me a little concerned, but then also really hopeful that he could be an impact player on 3rd and 7 or 3rd and 11.
It's a pretty good way of describing it, Tom. I think you're accurate there. There are days where I'm like, and then there are days where I go, oh, yeah, he's going to mess some dudes up just with sheer athleticism and power. His energy never wanes.
Which I would never have expected before this camp started, that you would say that sentence. Right?
Yeah, I didn't think I'd be looking at power. He's a big built guy. He's a weightlifting guy. He's all this, but he plays his power well. He utilizes that strength well. Yeah. You're right. We'll do it. I'll throw in a couple of other things there for that solving for the future from our friends at ISF. We'll do it next. Jeff Cameron Show, 93.3 Real Talk Radio, Warchant TV.
Your local news now.
City of Tallahassee Mayor John Daly filed a complaint to the Florida Elections Commission claiming Kristen Dozier's campaign for mayor is dark money driven. A claim Dozier says is not true. Dark money is a taboo subject in politics. It is money used to influence the decision of voters, but sources are not revealed. Dark money has spent roughly $1 billion in television and online ads since 2010. Daly goes on to explain how Dozier's team is breaking the law by not identifying the committee or reporting the contribution from that committee. No word on how long the investigation will take, but Dozier says she is confident her name will be cleared. The Tallahassee Police Department has seen reports piling up of people receiving scam calls from the City of Tallahassee Utilities office with overdue exact balances owed on accounts, demanding payments. One way for someone to know that it is a scam is if they ask you to pay using a gift card. The Utilities Department will also never call you demanding a payment. This is Rachel Lene with your Real Talk 93.3 Local News Update, brought to you by Macklemore Systems, Tallahassee's go-to Mac store. Check them out online at MacklemoreSystems.com.
This is meteorologist Paul Trombley with your Real Talk 93.3 weather update. Chance for scattered thunderstorms this afternoon. Otherwise, sunshine mixed with clouds at times. Highs level off around 91. South winds around 5 miles per hour. Chance for scattered thunderstorms tonight. Lows level off around 73. Partly cloudy. Chance for scattered storms again tomorrow. Daytime highs approaching 92. Mainly sunny skies and calm. This report is brought to you by the Lawn Johns. For all your landscaping and lawn care needs, visit thelawnjohns.com. Right now, 89.
Well. Hey, Jeff, look at this place.
Yeah,
My
yeah.
goodness.
Well, doing well. It's been a while since I've seen you, brother, but, it hasn't been a while since I've been over to Gordo's. I go there on the regular because of you, Eddie.
Well, we keep you regular.
Well, that's true, but I think of Gordo's as a place to sit down, have a cold beer, talk to your friends, enjoy the sports, eat the delicious food. But I think of you as Uncle Eddie, a man who takes care of his people and takes care of the town.
I appreciate that, Jeff. Hey, and we'll keep you regular.
Gordo's, bringing the flavor and flair of Cuban food to Tallahassee since 1996.
Well. Hey, Jeff, look at this place.
Yeah,
My
yeah.
goodness.
Well, doing well. It's been a while since I've seen you, brother, but, it hasn't been a while since I've been over to Gordo. It's like,
Every great construction project, whether it's a new addition or renovation, starts with a plan. At T-Spark, we are excited when our clients contact us to assist with that plan. Through our team of architects, draftsmen, engineers, we can help you with your project's planning and design, potentially saving costs in the long run. Whether you have a residential or commercial project, we look forward to working with you. Call us today or visit us at tsparkconstruction.com. License number CGC 1525336.
Here's what you missed on the Greg Tish Show.
There's a TikTok that's going viral because of a butter softening method. They are putting the Vermont Creamery butter in the waistband of our pants. Give it 5 minutes. You can go and measure out your ingredients, and then your butter is ready to go. You cannot do this in Florida.
No.
Because your pants will be full of butter in 2 minutes. Somebody try it. Post on TikTok.
Unless it says juicy across the back.
The Greg Tish Show, Monday through Friday, 6 to 9 a.m., only on Real Talk 93.3. The Jeff Kent Show, brought to you by Orange Theory Fitness. 2 Tallahassee locations, Midtown on Thomasville Road and Northside in the Village Common Shopping Center. Online at orangetheoryfitness.com.
I've got an idea here, and I'll tell you more about what ISF does in a second, but I'm going to throw it to you guys in the chat, and you guys can respond here. Give me, if you want to respond to this, we're going to solve for the future, 3rd and long. This is what we're doing here. We're solving for the future on 3rd and long. This is our defense on the field.
It's a good situation. We've done 2 good things, or they've had an overthrow and a botched snap. 3rd and long. Here we go.
3rd and long. Obvious passing situation. We're solving for the future with our friends at ISF. Give me in the chat, you guys, who are the 4 rushing the passer? Who do you have on the field along the defensive line that are getting after the passer? And who is probably the most likely to succeed? So give me your 4 if you want. I know who my 4 are. I know that we've kind of kicked this around a little bit, but now we're getting serious. The season's close. Pads are on. Time to get after it. I need the 4 guys on the field at 3rd and long for Florida State. And then from there, we'll get your answers, and I'll read some of them, the best ones and who do you think is the most likely to succeed in that? So we'll have some fun with this. As far as you and I go, we can talk about this as the chat joins us and tells us what they think. And by the way, you can think outside the box on this. I know that's an annoying phrase, but you can think beyond just Jared Verse and guys like that. You can we've talked some about how are they going to present pressure? How are they, what creative ways are they going to create a pass rush this year without Jermaine Johnson?
It's an interesting one from Radavius Hall.
Okay, I see it in the chat there. Yeah.
A couple of different names.
Oh, yeah. Okay. Farmer, Briggs, Verse, and Peyton. Okay. Davius, that's an interesting group.
Here's why. Peyton's speed and his quickness has been consistent throughout camp. I was going to throw him out there as a candidate for if you're not going by the chalk, who else would be a candidate? And I know Farmer's in that list as well. And that's interesting, too, because he's quick.
He's had a good camp.
56, Patrick Peyton has had his moments where in a 3rd and long, and it's, let's see if I get it right this time, pin your ears back situation, because I was going to pin the tail on a donkey last time. He's been impressive. And I wouldn't be afraid to turn him loose because he is unafraid to take aggressive lines, and that speed is something you can't teach.
By the way, thanks, guys. You're chiming in. These are all good. We're trying to highlight these as we go along. Verse, McClendon, Bethune, Peyton. I got Verse, Briggs, Ray, Farmer. You've got Verse, Briggs, McClendon, Lundy, Briggs. Kind of doubled down. But
well, with Briggs being the most dangerous.
yeah,
That's interesting to me. I don't know that I list him as the most likely to succeed.
could you slide him inside?
Only if he's on a guard.
Yes.
At that point,
Okay,
he
so
might affect from within.
So we're workshopping this thing, and it's kind of fun when you think about it. I would tell you, Tom. Let's see, we got what? Briggs versus Jackson Payton. 3rd and long versus Payton on the ends. Briggs, Farmer in the middle. Man, a lot of people love Farmer in this discussion.
Well, that's Radavius again. Yeah.
Yeah. No, but I mean, people love them some Farmer.
He's had a good camp, man. He's quick.
Well, you're getting Coop out of there, obviously.
Mm-hmm.
So I get why people
Lovett doesn't suck.
Fabian's good
at shedding and getting in immediate pressures. I mean, he doesn't suck at that. He's got a variety of moves. The tape's already out there. I'm not telling you anything that you don't know. But Fabian is fast as can be.
Yeah, all right. I'll give you mine. Verse for sure. I'm still going to say McClendon. I think I've seen a couple of moves that on 3rd and long I feel good about.
There was one where we were standing next to each other the other day. That
and we
was
were like, ooh.
filthy.
It was filthy. Then I think I'm gonna slide Briggs inside, and I could see the other being Farmer, yeah.
I think you got to put Lovett in there, especially if it's 3rd and passing, but it's not a mile. I think you want Lovett there.
Yeah, there's a very distinct
3rd and 15
line.
and 3rd and 7 or 8. It's very different.
Very different deal. Yeah, I think you're right. There's nuance to this.
Yeah. Farmer's a good rotation piece. I think Peyton's a good rotation piece. But Verse, most certainly. Briggs inside. I mean, come on. What are we doing here? That's got to be a part of the equation. And then Peyton.
Briggs inside is big. It's important. But it's cool to have some options. And I like workshopping things like this. It's kind of fun because it gets you talking about the guys' skill sets and how they vary and down and distance. And you know, listen, I want to know how they're going to get something out of Amari Gaynor this year.
He's had a pretty good camp.
This is a pretty good opportunity as well on 3rd down. So Amari Gaynor is somebody to consider.
Yeah, and they went next level there too, thinking 3rd and long, Bethune could be in the group because you'd only have 3 down linemen, and so maybe Bethune could pick his spot. And when he wants to be sudden and get through a small area, he can do so.
Well,
so that's next level where it's, all right, let's only put 3 linemen on the field. Let's get Bethune involved around the line of scrimmage and then drop back with our coverage because we're really good in the secondary. So I could see that as well.
Solving for the future, ISF. When you're facing a challenge or trying to figure out how to move forward in your agency, organization, you're thinking about all the things that need to be addressed, overly complicated processes based on old rules, no clear direction on what you're doing, trying to do big picture. Times have changed, and you have to change too. Outdated, hard to support technologies won't work. ISF does this for you. They work collaboratively with you and find the solutions that best fit your needs. And that's why we're happy to be partnered with our friends at ISF.
How about 3rd and 5?
I'm keeping Fabian in for sure then.
Mm-hmm. Is Cooper there?
I'm probably.
5's a lot, though. You don't necessarily need Cooper there.
Who do you trust that's not?
Ray. Ray's had a good couple of days.
Maybe by the end of the camp, we'll readdress this.
Because Malcolm was awesome in spring, but he's had a good couple of days.
Yeah, he's another guy to be.
But then who do you put on? Okay, so you got to take probably McClendon off the field in 3rd and 5.
I'm probably bigger at that point. Briggs,
Warner or Briggs?
Briggs. I'm putting Briggs out on the edge in 3rd.
Warner's been all right too.
Yeah. Briggs is definitely out there.
Okay, in verse.
3rd and 5.
So Cooper is negotiable at 3rd and 5.
3rd and 4, Coop's in there for sure.
Yep.
See,
it's a big difference.
It is a big difference.
Those 3 feet.
It's a fun exercise. It really is. It's a fun exercise.
How about 3rd and 1?
Oh, 3rd and 1. We're giant. Every big
Let's
body
say you got
we
5. You got 5 out there now on the line.
Mm-hmm.
So it's Coop, Lovett,
Briggs,
Warner,
yeah,
and then maybe Verse.
Maybe. I don't know that I want Verse in there on 3rd and 1. I'm my biggest jokers.
Mm-hmm.
I'm just going sheer size, 3rd and 1.
Yeah. You could even do the 4 we mentioned, not to go 5 down lineman and put Lundy on the field with Bethune.
Don't hate it. Lundy, man, golly, he has put in some work this offseason.
I feel like a lot of guys we're bringing up were saying they've had a good camp. Another one, Lundy hasn't been bad.
Well, our defense has been good almost every day. I mean, the defense every day at practice is good. Now, that is the byproduct of this being an average offense, I think, early in camp. But all offenses, including elite-level offenses, struggle when we first put on the pads and first get out there in camp. That's the way it works. So it's not a damning thing to say about this offense that the defense has led the way every practice. First of all, I think the defense is pretty good, period. Full stop. I think the defense is pretty good. And then I think that offenses always struggle early in camp. So that combination is going to lead to most of the days being dominated, say for a drive here or there, like we saw with Tate Rodemaker yesterday. Most of the time, the defense is going to carry the day.
Verse is going to make a play or two at minimum this year where you go, oh my God, he's that fast?
Verse is going to score a touchdown on a freak play.
You think so?
Oh,
okay.
I believe it. He's gonna be sudden on somebody, and they're gonna be startled. Either a quarterback's going to do something dumb, and he's going to tip it to himself. A running back is gonna be caught off guard.
That's what I'm saying. It's like they've schemed something up. And this backside swing pass to a running back is wide open because they've got what they want. They got the look they want, and there's nobody there.
Right.
And then hawking him down is 5, and it changes the drive. It reduces 7 points to 3, or gets them off the field and they punt, and you go, oh my God.
Violent hands, man. He's a violent guy, and I mean that positively. I mean, he's a very violent guy. He's to your chest plate. He's under your neck. They have to talk to him about it a lot. He's quick with his hands. He plays strong. I worry about him at the point of attack. But that's okay. I mean, if he's rushing the passer.
But he's strong enough, though. He's not one of those guys that can just get moved.
But I don't think over the course of a long game that you're going to be able to stand up.
Probably not, but it's a good thing that there is depth. And we have all these options that we're talking about in third and different distances.
Correct. ISF, you can certainly check them out online, isf.com, and read more about what they do, but appreciate their partnership here on the Jeff Cameron Show. In fact, I'll answer a couple questions more before we wrap it up. And this time I will do probables. We can't not do probables, damn it. 93.3 Real Talk Radio, Warchant TV.
Hi, this is Jamie McClenny from Trek Financial in Tallahassee. Managing downside risk in your portfolio is one of the biggest challenges that you'll face in retirement. Trillions of dollars in stimulus from the Federal Reserve and D.C. politicians, combined with zero interest rates, have propped up financial markets since the financial crisis ended in 2009. The Fed recently ended quantitative easing and has started to raise interest rates at a time when the global economy was already slowing. Have you considered what another 50% correction in the stock market would do to your retirement plan? If you're concerned about where this all might be headed and would like to find out about the potential benefits of an active risk management strategy for your portfolio, give me a call at 850-900-5200 and schedule a time for a review of your portfolio from an active risk management perspective.
Make Jamie your first call for a second opinion. Investment advisory services are offered through Trek Financial, LLC, an SEC-registered investment advisor.
DQ presents... Picture this. Picture the burger of your dreams. It's on the new DQ Signature Stack Burgers menu. A lineup of 5 premium burgers like the Flamethrower Signature Stack Burger and Loaded A1 Signature Stack Burger with 100% seasoned real beef patties, melty cheese, and a combo of top-notch toppings and sauces galore. This dream burger is calling your name. But it isn't a dream. You're ordering at the DQ drive-thru. The DQ Signature Stack Burgers lineup. Try today. DQ. Happy tastes good.
It's back to school time, so here's a lesson in big wireless hype. Flashy phone plan deals usually don't add up to actual savings. Graduate to Straight Talk Wireless and get our Silver Unlimited plan with unlimited high-speed data and 5 gigs of hotspot data for just $45 a month. Plus, get a Samsung Galaxy A13 5G for only $149, all on America's best 5G networks. Unlimited data, less money, no-brainer. Straight Talk Wireless, available at Walmart and Walmart.com. 5G capable device required. Actual availability, coverage, and speed may vary. A month equals 30 days. See latest terms and conditions at straighttalk.com.
The weather is unpredictable and can cause issues around your home. Weston Trawick provides commercial, residential, and industrial electrical wiring services, yearly inspections on fire alarms, portable generator sales, and so much more. With 24/7 emergency service and repair, Weston Trawick will be your calm in the storm. Give them a call at 514-0003. Weston Trawick. Professional electrical services day or night. Visit online at westontrawick.com.
Every great construction project, whether it's a new addition or renovation, starts with a plan. At T-Spark, we are excited when our clients contact us to assist with that plan. Through our team of architects, draftsmen, engineers, we can help you with your project's planning and design, potentially saving costs in the long run. Whether you have a residential or commercial project, we look forward to working with you. Call us today or visit us at tsparkconstruction.com. License number CGC 1525336.
The Cameron Show brought to you by Orange Theory Fitness. 2 Tallahassee locations, Midtown on Thomasville Road and
Pirates owner, Robert Nutting, while wearing a shirt that said sell the team. He's a hero in Pittsburgh, buddy. We're loving that kid. Loving that kid. I'm not going to answer the 4 wide receiver question, because it's a great question. We'll use it next week.
And frankly,
we don't know.
Yeah, the amount of time between now and then, you get a lot of new information. A lot
After
of new
the
information.
scrimmage,
and yeah.
You would agree with me. They are desirous, as they should be, of getting Deuce Spann up to speed.
Yeah, that's been a consistent trend. He's had a nice day. I know a lot of people who cover Florida State, including us right here at warchant.com, where you can get a year membership for.
It's $1. It's $1. What are you doing?
All remarked on Deuce having a good day earlier this week, but it's not just him on his own. They are investing time because they see a lot of potential. And who wouldn't see a lot of potential in that skill set? I mean, if he can figure it out, that is an automatic game-changing type of player. He only has to be on the field for half the snaps, and you'd say, all right, he's gonna produce.
Yeah, man. I love the way that there's a variety of ways. I can't get into it. You're right. There's just a variety of ways they're trying to get Spann to participate into. I don't mean participate's the wrong word. To contribute, to be a factor, and that's good. I mean, there's no secret. I mean, him back there on kick returns, it's a natural fit.
Yeah, and they've talked about that on the record.
Yeah, that's been on the record. That's why. But there are things you can do to get while he's learning, because remember, he's a former quarterback. So that people who don't know, this is a quarterback making the transition to receiver, and that takes time. It's not an easy thing to do. Some people can never do it, but he's such a great athlete. I understand why they want him to do it, and why even at Illinois they were trying to get him to do it. And so he is clearly bought into being a receiver, and he's working really hard. I'll just say that he's working really hard, and he's better than he was in the spring.
You don't really see many guys show their butts. You know what I mean? In terms of just shutting down on coaches or teammates. When you say he's working really hard,
yeah,
I immediately went through all of practice that I've seen so far. Nobody's really taken plays off, and that's not always the case in practice. You hear about it at the pro level, if they give access to the media, at the collegiate level, that some guys are just, they'll check in, check out,
right,
and they'll know when to turn it on, but they're not invested. I'd say 99%, maybe the whole roster. You don't really have that problem in practice where you're seeing guys get shouted down for not trying. That's over and done with.
Yeah, it's one of the things that I have brought up more than once on the show in the last couple weeks. It's such a breath of fresh air to go out there and know that they may have a good practice, they may have a bad practice, but it's not going to be from a lack of effort. So, that's those days are over. And again, he once said it himself. Mike Norvell's like, yeah, we're going to try hard. That's the bare minimum of what we can do. He's right, but it wasn't always the case.
And I hear the Kool-Aid being served when I say something like that. But also, let me say one more thing that's positive. The fact that they were able to hit the ground running last week.
Because of all the 90% of the roster having been there in spring. Yeah.
When you have a kind of practice today, not a great one, it's still, you're so far ahead of the curve than you normally would be when you're trying to integrate and teach new players. Yeah. Like, everybody's up to speed.
How about the catch Terrell Powers made today?
Oh, that was a nice one.
True freshman tight end.
Along the ground.
Big kid, man, gets down there, shows how nimble and the dexterity necessary to make that catch. That was impressive. I was, okay, there you go, young man. I'm sure his head's swimming right now. He's trying to learn everything they're doing, and he wasn't here in the spring. But you look at that body type, you see him make an athletic catch like that, you get excited.
I've also got some hope for Brian Courtney. He's put in some work this offseason. He's still a true freshman, a converted quarterback again, another player who's playing a different position. But he's all at 230 now.
Yeah, and he's more athletic than the other tight ends. He's got to get bigger.
A little bit, though. It's not 30 pounds. He's already in the 230s. It's 15.
Probably 15 to 20 pounds, yeah. But, hey, listen, he catches the ball. He's athletic.
It's off to a good start.
He is. Time for probables. Let's cue it up.
It's time for, how you say, with the pitching, probables?
Exciting win for the Buccos last night, 8-7 in extra innings on a Brian Reynolds walk-off home run. They trail currently in the 7-3-1 to the Brewers. Brandon Woodruff will do that to you. He started for the Brewers. Zach Thompson pitched for the Pirates. He's not any good, so it's a miracle that game's close. In the 6th, it's the Cubs 3, Cardinals nothing. Marcus Stroman and Miles Mikolas. Yes. I heard my voice. Dodgers, Giants, Clayton Kershaw, Jacob Junis. We got the A's and the Angels, Paul Blackburn and Jansen Junk. Rockies, Padres, Kyle Freeland, Joe Musgrove. You have the 8-4 with a 2.65 Musgrove family. Good Christ. Nats, Phillies, Paolo Espino, Noah Syndergaard. Stros, Guardians, Justin Verlander, Zach Plesac, Rays, Tigers, Jeffrey Springs, Drew Hutchinson. Braves, Mets. Ooh, that's a good one. Kyle Wright, Carlos Carrasco.
We can get this one tonight with cookie throwing. That's a good sign. 5 games in 4 days. It's a big one.
Fun to watch. Blue Jays, Twins, Alek Manoah, who I love. Love me some Alek Manoah. Big old hoss. Wants the ball. Is mean. Sonny Gray throws for the Twins. Game 2, Cubs Cardinals, Sean Newcomb, Jose Quintana, the newly acquired Jose Quintana for the Cardinals.
Sean Newcomb's been around a minute, right?
Yeah.
That's an older name.
He's got an 11.57 ERA this year. Not getting anybody out. White Sox, Rangers, Johnny Cueto, there's the name. Cole Reagan's making his first start. Cole Reagan's a member of the club. Cheats at golf. I had to play with effing Cole Reagan's today.
What'd he shoot? 71.
Miraculously got from behind a tree. I thought he was in jail, but there was an opening when he found his ball. Sure, Cole. Sure. Always is. Red Sox, Royals, Nick Pivetta, Chris Bubik, and that is a look at those that shall reside on the bump. Well, look at that. Came to rest right here with this little opening. Can you believe it?
Man, that is a name, too. That's unmistakably. He's your number 1 or number 2 at your rival in high school. And you're like, ugh, that kid's going to shoot 37. I'm not sure how, but he always does.
Because he's going to find the opening when he finds his ball. Yeah, you're like, oh, really? You got lucky again there, Cole, did you?
Isn't that 3 provisionals today, Cole?
Spraying it all off the tee, but
didn't need a single one.
Yeah, it's amazing how that works. Did you encounter a lot of that in high school? I didn't play high school golf.
A little bit. There was one dispute that we got into with Berkeley Prep, who were a bunch of cheating fools back in the day. I don't know about now, but they were giving each other advice, which you're not allowed to do. We warned them. They did it again, and so we had to call them on it, and our coaches almost came to blows.
Oh, man.
Yeah.
That's what I'm talking about.
Indignant, the other coach, which is just unbelievable because we warned them.
Hey, I want to quickly point out, this was not personal against Cole Reagan's. He's a Tallahassee kid.
No way.
Yeah, he is. But
that's unlucky.
Yeah, but the name, it's hilarious. You're like, okay, that sounds like a country club kid.
Cole's listening to the show right now. He's
good luck, Cole.
His news on the Noles.
Good luck to you, buddy.
Why do these guys hate me?
No, we don't. I've never met you.
It's just your name.
I don't even know you.
Cole Reagan's pops up his collar too as he plays
in wintertime. Doesn't even have to be summer where somebody might get a pass
for the wrong reason. I'll pop up my collar because I don't want to spend thousands of dollars on getting my neck dug into, but he'll do it just because.
I will tell you too, Greg, that no, you want Courtney to be a tight end because there are a lot of people in that room, but not a lot of them can play. And Courtney looks like he can. Good work out of you. Good work, Director Matthew. Be well, everybody. Have a great day. We'll talk to you on Libations Friday.